Good morning, Facebook friends and family. I'm not going to be on here alone this morning. Something hit me today, and I want to share something with you. Do you know when it's time to go? Do you know when it's time to let a situation go, a journey, a job, a relationship? Do you know when it's time to let something go? Do you know when it's time to move on? Do you know when it's time that thing that you've been in or around and been through or dealing with has reached its course, its time? Do you know when there are signs that this thing is coming to an end? And can you take that it's coming to an end? A lot of us don't understand when it's time for something to come to an end, it must end. And then when things fall apart, things don't go the way we want to, things start to dissemble, things start to not resemble what they used to. It is life telling you that it's time for you to move on. Who am I speaking to this morning? It's time for you to pack your bags, pack your mind, pack your issues, pack your stuff up, and move on. Listen here. When it's time to move on, some things, some people, some issues won't want to let you go. But you got to know that it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to know that you have been that you've graduated, you've elevated. There's nothing else that you can learn in that level, that season, that time, that place. If you stay too long, guess what? Let me tell you something about staying too long. The children of Israel were told to only collect a little bit of things when God sent them manna. But when they collected a little extra, it got rotten. Listen to this, y'all. You're only supposed to do something for a certain season, that it works only on a certain season. After it's done in its season, it will not work anymore. It will stink. It will be rotten. It will cause a festering in your life. When you don't realize when it's time to move on, you will cause a stink in your life. You will have dead issues trying to be alive when it's time to move on in your life. Let me tell you this. You got to realize when it's time to go on, it's time to go on. And you don't need to explain, delegate, describe, or sit down and talk to people about a life that ain't theirs. Sometimes we talk too much to people. We tell people our moves too quickly, too soon. Close your mouth and move in silence. Some of the greatest warriors, some of the greatest soldiers in this life are taught to be stealthy. You need to be stealthy. Don't tell nobody what you get ready to do. Do it and then tell them. How? Do it and let them see your actions. Because there are some people who are assigned and ordained to keep you stagnant, to keep you in a place of stuck. Get out of stuck. Know this. This is your time to get up and go. You don't need no more signs, no more warnings. You don't need no word from heaven. You don't need nobody to drop an asteroid on your head. You don't need God to come down from heaven to tell you. You already know it's time to go. When a bird has finally had enough of his chick in the nest, he caused that nest to be uncomfortable. Can I say this to you? The uncomfortableness in your life is because you've been in a season of comfortability too long. You've been comfortable in what does not work. It is not working. You need to move on. Woo! I'm talking to myself too this morning. You need to realize it ain't the person, it ain't the situation, it's you. You gotta go. You have gotta go. If you stay longer than your season, I guarantee you it will get worse. It will not get better. You know, we need to realize that what's ahead of us is better than what's been behind us. That's what's wrong with a lot of us. If we knew the greatness was before us, we would let go of a lot of our past issues. We let it go. Let it go of a lot of things that are holding us back right now. I'm declaring today that I'm letting some things go so I can embrace what's before me. You're never going to be able to grab or hold of something forward if you keep holding on to something behind you. You got to release it. Listen what I just said. You got to release it, let it go, and trust that you can grab onto something else. Now, faith says that there's something greater before me. Doubt says, I don't know about that. Let me warn you, the Lot's wife, who didn't trust that there was something greater for her, she thought about what was behind her. The Bible says she turned into a pillar of salt because her idea was behind her. Let me tell you this. You either want to be something great going for you or you're going to be a pillar of salt going behind you. Which one you want? Go forward this season. Don't go behind you. Hey, I know that's right. You don't need to turn into no salt this season. Let me tell you what salt does. Salt give you high blood pressure, make you sick, cause you swell up. You don't need to be a salt this season. You need to be a light. A light leads the way. A salt gives you taste. You want to taste good or you want to be going somewhere? Sometimes we got to remember that I don't want to be tasting good to people. I don't want flavor. People listen to this. Oh, this is revelation. I don't have time to flavor other people's life when I'm supposed to be lighting up the pathway for other people. Some people want you to stay in their life because you're flavoring their life, but you're wasting your own time. Let me say this to you. You can't preach another word of salvation to somebody who already heard salvation enough times. Salvation is a choice. If they don't want to be saved, you can't make them saved. And you're wasting your energy talking to somebody who's heard 400 preachers dead about being saved. Listen to what I said. The word in your mouth should not be causing you to be stagnant. The word in your mouth should be pressing you to go forward. If you already told your people, move on. The one thing that I love about Jesus is that he said when he was through, he moved on. He knew when his assignment was up. He knew when he had said what he had to say. He knew when he had done all that he could do. He knew that when he had told the soil enough, it's been told. When you have told the soil enough, what else can you do? You can't toil the soil no more. When you've already turned up a yard, you can't turn a yard up no more. You got to move on. You got to do something else. Plant somewhere else. The Bible says, one plant, one water, and then God give the increase. You can't increase people if they don't want to grow. But you sure can call yourself to be stagnant if you stay around them too long. I don't know what I'm talking to this morning, baby. But you got to know it's time to go. It's time to go. And listen, it's going to take faith to go. But when you take your faith and combine it with your determination, you're going to see prosperity. You're going to see wealth. You're going to see elevation. You're going to see prosperity. Let me say this real quick, and I'm almost done. One more example. If the 12 boys, the 12 tribes of Israel, had not had the faith enough to believe that where they were going was better than where they'd been, they'd have starved to death. They had to trust that where they were going was better than where they'd been. Some of you are eating old food and it's sustaining you, but you're not growing. Listen to what I just said. You're eating old food, it's sustaining you, but you're not growing. That's like an adult eating baby food. It's going to give you enough to sustain you, but you will not grow. You need to grow, and how are you going to grow? You got to challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to do something greater, something bigger, something larger, something more in purpose. Move. Get out of there. Do something else. It's time for you to go. And growth only happens when you challenge yourself to grow. My God, some of y'all got to know today, go forward, not backwards. You know, somebody told me that's why they give you a small rear view window. The window going behind is smaller than the window going forward. It's time to go forward, people. I'm talking to myself too. And yes, it's scary. It's scary. I'm going to say this and I'm almost done. It's scary, I know, because you don't know what's before you. All you know is behind you. But if you trust and believe that there's a destiny in the shaping you're in, you will realize that something greater is for you than what's been behind you. Every time a door closes, one must open, baby. That's the law of life. Did you know that? Every time a door closes, some door, some window, some porch light, something got to open up because you can't be stuck, baby. You don't have the time to be stuck. You got to go forward. So when you find things getting old, stale, things ain't working, maybe it's time for you to go. Maybe it's time for you to pick up a new assignment, a new destiny, a new purpose. I refuse to be stuck. And I refuse to be around stuck people. Don't be offended, baby, if I can't fool with you like that. Because I gotta go. I got things to do. Watch this. I got things to do, places to be at, and people to meet. And I got time to be talking to you. The Bible said he's going to bring me for great men and women. And I got to go because they're waiting for me to get there. And I got some things to say and some things to do. And I ain't got time to be fooling with your foolishness. And listen, watch this. I'm almost done. You ain't got time to be talking to nobody in no courtyard when you got to go see the king. Now, that's all I got to say. God bless all of you. I love you so much. God bless you.